Awesome.
Let's take a look. See who have we got available. We got Raven Duck and other.
Why
No,
don't we
that's
start
not
with
Raven Duck. Let's go to Mercedes. Default's in there. Let's go have a chat.
why don't we start with winners?
All right. So do then. Let's go do that.
That's where you should start.
Hello, Beaker and John. Congratulations on your victory. 1-2.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Now, I have a feeling that the strategy was something that was created by John. I feel like Beaker just had faith in his teammate. Would I be right in that belief?
No, it was Beaker who made it, so...
Wow. Beaker with the strategy of kings.
It worked very well the last time, and we tried this race already this afternoon, and we had simulations, race simulations, so to say, and we tried all different things, and this one was clearly the fastest every time.
Interesting.
And it's very consistent. If you, I just sent you the last stint, my last stint on of the race on Discord. And
yeah, I saw.
Yeah, there you see the consistency you can have with this strategy.
It was a very good, solid race. It was very much that you had one sort of strategy, which was this has to work. If we make a mistake or even a slight mistake, we've got no opportunity to recover.
Yes, I thought I had it recorded, but I didn't record it. But that's a shame because at the start I had to be. I feared for my front wing so damn much, and I was so slow and watching out for everybody. But in the end, it stabilized, and when it stabilizes, you can make your way through. And they crash out. They always crash out.
Absolutely.
Always someone.
But you did it. You held on nicely. Yes. You managed to make it right to the end, and you managed to get some very valuable constructors points there as well. So nicely done. Anything you want to say to your fans? I saw that Face 1990 was in here, and he was giving some love to Beaker.
Yeah.
Just laugh at him.
Thanks for the support. It means a lot to me.
And you, John?
Thanks for the support to BK, yeah.
Fair enough, boys. Well, congratulations again on your 1-2. Hopefully the Constructors' Championship and the Drivers' Championship continues in the same sort of style.
Yeah,
I hope so. This race is nice. So.
Good. I'm glad you liked it. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
You will.
Let's go to Force India. Gents.
Hello.
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 Max, let's start with you. Some really solid racing at the beginning. Bit of mistakes. Ultimately one major mistake, and that cost you your race. You retired. How do you feel?
I had a tragic disaster with the strategy. Because I was debating whether I go super soft to mediums or super soft, super soft. And then I broke my front wing, went into the pit at 30 miles an hour. And it gave me a stop-go penalty. And I put the mediums on and I just retired because I knew I wasn't going to get anything.
It's unfortunate. But Flaff, you also seem to be really struggling, especially in qualifying. You seem to really not been able to get the opportunity to put in some really heavy, good laps in. Tell us about qualifying.
My quali strategy, I originally went out on a banker lap with super softs, and I just took it super slow and just to take the most minimal wear possible on the super softs. So therefore, if I did fail on my softs, because I wanted to start on the softs, so if I did fail on the softs at the end of the session, I wanted to go out at like 2 minutes essentially on softs. I would have the backup with like barely any wear on the super softs, and I could go potentially like 1 or 2 laps later than the front runners on the super softs. That was the quality strategy. But I did go out on the softs and had a pretty good lap. I was fairly pleased with that. I think I was like P7. So
nicely done.
That was the quality strategy.
So race time. We've already discussed Max's race. Flaff, tell us about how it felt for you out on track.
Yeah, I actually just put a clip in Discord on essentially how my race went. It was pretty much over in lap 1. I got sideswiped. I don't know which turn it was, by a Renault, and then he got spun out from the contact with me, and I got an illegal overtake on this person. So I got a 5-second stop go, and then as I'm looking, like I got the penalty, and then I look behind me and I miss my braking point. And I hit Bika, and I break my front wing. So I raced the whole race with a broken front, which was
You
super
got
unfortunate.
absolutely annihilated by
I have
Hodgson
an
by the looks of
illegal
that clip.
overtake on somebody that just sideswiped me.
He sort of just came in from your right and just smashed you off.
Yeah, we're currently
Yeah,
watching the clip on stream at the minute. I can see how you got a penalty. You got a penalty for overtaking someone who hit you, launched you off track, and spun out. So
yeah, exactly.
it was a bit of a disaster.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, given the situation, given the way that you moved around, I think you did really quite well to hold out in the position you did. Thoughts going into the Chinese Grand Prix?
I like China a lot, so I'm actually looking forward to that for sure. I think it's I'm pretty good one lap pace there, in previous games, so I'm excited for China for sure.
Are we going to see you on the podium?
We'll do our damnedest.
Brilliant. Well,
I'm just gonna add something.
Go
on. Mine and Gooby's incident, he had about 10 buses worth of room. He could have just backed out, but I was lucky to save it.
I think it was a. There were the corner before that. You were a bit aggressive, but not overly aggressive. Enough for there was contact, but it was minimal. Then going into the corner after that, yeah, you gave him as much room as you possibly could give him. In fact, you actually gave him more than enough room because you were actually off track when the collision happened. Then the wheels touched. Gooby unfortunately lost ground, lost grip, and span off, and then lost his front wing as a result. So it is definitely a no further investigation required because it affected Gooby more than it affected you. But it is definitely something we need to watch. But congratulations and commiserations, I guess. But going into China, we should hopefully see some more improvements from Force India.
Absolutely.
Good. Well,
China's my comeback.
Big words. Let's see how we do. Good luck for next week. We'll see you then.
Thanks, Reddy.
Now we're the Renault drivers.
Hello.
Hello. How was
First
that
of all,
race
can I
for
say
you?
congratulations to Bika and John. They did a fucking smashing job.
Yeah. Nice. Good job, dude.
Weirdly enough, I'm actually kind of happy with the race. Obviously, it could have been better. I'm actually quite happy with my comeback though. I mean, the strategy was all fucked up because, first of all, I went into that race with a 9 ballast when an 8 ballast was my racing thing, and I didn't turn it down. That's why I spun twice at actually I spun once at that right hand corner, which basically ruined my race completely. That incident with, I think it was Jord at the start. I'm just gonna put it down to a racing incident. It wasn't my fault. I don't think. I need to look back at the clip. But I was a full car length in front of him. The proximity area as well was white. It wasn't even red. So I thought, okay, I have enough space to turn back onto the racing line since I'm fine now. I'm a car length ahead of him. And then I think I don't know. There must have been an inch off, and his front right hit my back left and spun me out. Because if I didn't go back on the racing line, I wasn't going to make that corner. And I was a full car length ahead of him, so I feel like, it was just a racing incident. But yeah, I mean, if that didn't happen, it could have been a really nice race. But apart from that, I'm quite happy where I finished P5 when I had 2 spin outs, so yeah.
Some very valuable points for your Constructors' Championship. Hodgson, what happened?
In quali or the whole thing?
Let's start qualifying first. How did qualifying
should've
feel
talked about
for you?
Okay, so I went out on my first lap and I was doing alright within the first sector and had a bit of a slip up in the second on the really quick left-hander sorry, I can't keep my words straight. The hairpin.
Yep.
Onto the straight. So I still pushed it so I could get somewhat of a time down in case anyone else failed, which ended up being okay in the end since Beaker didn't get a better lap time. But I don't know. I struggled in qualifying altogether. If I'm being honest, I should have gone a bit quicker, but I couldn't.
Fair enough.
Oh, I will just say I don't run on. I haven't tried traction control before, so it was a bit of an adjustment.
What, you have it off?
I have it on full.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to.
Did I? I think I restricted to half, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay, I see. And let's just talk about the beginning of the race. So initially you had a pretty okay start. There was no sort of contact, there was no major issues. And then we get to around about corner 5, corner 6, and then disaster. Do you want to talk us through what happened?
Okay, so from the straight, the first straight that goes to the half finish corner, I think Flaff had a bit of a bad turning, so I of course tried to go for the overtake, and we were side by side until the incident. And from looking at his point of view, and from what I remember, he was on the racing line and I was not, and I couldn't get the grip going around the corner, but at the same time he was in the middle of the track, and I guess looking back at it, I could have like stopped off of it, but at the time I wanted to try hang it out, and I did nudge him, which fair enough. And then after that, I also when I was in, I guess, passenger mode, let's say, I also lost my front right to Beaker, who also hit me, and from there it was kind of just I couldn't really do much because I had to pit because I couldn't get any kind of grip with my wing, and I just kind of fell off from there. So I will just apologise with the illegal overtake incident that happened with Flaff, but other than that, I wasn't trying to hit him or anything, and
no, it was clear.
It didn't give me much space to work with.
It was very clear that that wasn't intentional. It was unfortunately quite a disastrous race for you. Any thoughts going into China?
I hope it's full rain. If I do race.
Full rain?
Worked out all right. I hope so.
Oh, okay, interesting. Hopefully it'll be our first rain race. So let's see how that pans out. But overall, congrats and commiserations on your races. Hopefully we'll see better and bigger things going into China.
I'm actually quite confident in China. I won my last league race on this, so quite happy with that.
Big claims with Vegas.
Yeah.
So Maxi Boy said he can. Maxi Boy said this is his comeback. Do you think you're going to beat him?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, easily. What the hello?
All right.
For the record, for my Bahrain for qualifying, I'll just skim it quickly. But because of that 9 ballast I spent out twice on the out lap, I was fucking like 3 temps off of my previous lap, and even on the other soft tires, I could have beaten my old time. But each time I spun out twice, and then at the Hodgson didn't mean to do it. It was my fault really. At the first turn, I just couldn't get the corner straight because he was there, but like it wasn't his fault. That was just me not timing it correctly. But I could have easily smashed my qualifying pace out of the park if I wasn't shit and put it on 9 ballast. That's really annoyed me because it ruined my fucking race.
It was unfortunate for you, but I think there was more than just that ruined your race. But overall, good job. Proud of you, dude. Hopefully we'll see better things going into China. Now, we're going to go to the... this is where the controversy... That's not even controversy. Yeah, controversy. This is where the controversy starts when we go into Mercedes. Let's start with Default. Default, are you there, dude?
Yeah, man.
Hello. So, a lot of network issues throughout that race. You had a really solid qualifying pace. Tell us a little bit about what happened in the race.
Well, at the start of the race, obviously, I was quite happy. I had consistently low 131s, which is where I wanted to be. Like, earlier when I did a practice race, I tried to get every single lap within the 131s, and I struggled during the first stint. So when I was doing that, I was quite happy, and then went into the pits, put on softs, exited the pits, and then changed to super soft, which kind of ruined my race. But my strategy was just go super soft to softs and just run it to the end. And when I pitted off the super softs, they're on 55% on lap 12. So I was quite happy with the tyre wear. But overall, I just had a bit of a... I had a good race in terms of pace, but unfortunate in terms of traffic and pit stop stuff and all that.
Yeah, it did seem to be. There was one moment in particular I want to really get your input on because we didn't see it, we didn't catch it. You were in P3, chasing after John. You got John, and then you went into P2, and then you were hunting for Beaker, and then somehow you lost 4 places.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, there's a bit of a problem with my computer where whenever I get sent a Steam message from, I think it's about 5 people. I don't know why there's 5 people, but whenever one of those 5 people sends me a Steam message, it will shut down my game. Like, not shut down, but close the tab. So
like minimize
that
you?
happened, and and then it paused it. So
Oh no, disaster. I'd go and knock your friends out if I was in your shoes. Or appear offline after you've been invited into the game. So avoid that from happening going forwards.
oh, for fuck's sake.
Or is that...
You have to. If it's causing that issue, that's what you're going to have to do.
Yeah. It
I'm
costs you
completely
valuable
gone.
positions, valuable places.
For fuck's sake. Oh well.
Jordy B, he did mention no comments in the chat. I know he can hear me. Jordan, are you gonna share a little bit about what happened in the race, incident or not? He's no, he can definitely hear us. I think he's staying in that mute.
Jordy boy.
I just want to say one thing about the incident with Vanier and Jord.
Go on then.
Vanier's in the chat saying there wasn't contact. But on my screen, I couldn't see much, obviously, because I was about a second behind. But from my screen, there was clearly contact. Yeah, you could clearly see they touched. You just couldn't see whether the Jord spun it because he lit up the rears, and then the touch, helped it a little bit, or whether it was just all from the touch. But there was clearly contact.
So from what, I mean, Cass, you might be able to help me out here a little bit. So from what I could see in from the spectator view, there was contact, 100%. But I don't think the reason why Jordan lost control of his car was as a result of the contact. I mean, Vanier did go down the inside line. Jordan did come back in again. There was a kiss of contact on the exit of the corner, and then Jordan looked like he lost the back end. So I think it didn't help that the car got destabilized as a result of the contact, but I think also for the back end to kick out like that, I think Jordan may have been a bit heavy-footed on the accelerator. Again, that's just going from memory, so we will need to have a look at the clip itself in order to really have a good sort of understanding of it. But I think maybe Jordan is being a little bit sort of 2 fingers pointing and not really reviewing himself to see whether or not it was a mistake.
I'm not saying it was George's fault. I'm not saying it was Vanner's fault.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Where Vanner's saying there wasn't contact, there clearly was.
There was definitely contact, without doubt. So, it's you looking at the messages in Twitch chat. It looks like Jordan is very much keeping this to himself. I don't blame him. But Jordan, overall, you had the opportunity to have a good race. Whether it was your mistake, whether it was whoever's mistake it was, whatever, there was a mistake, and it unfortunately did cost you. So bad luck. Hopefully we see bigger and better things out of the both of you in China.
The only thing I'd ask Jordan is why he was going so slow on the last lap and didn't just retire the car. Seems a bit daft to me, but
he's on strike.
I saw that and I was thinking, oh god, don't hit him. Don't just hit him.
I was watching the end and there was definite movement towards him as he crossed the line. I don't know if that would just happen to be.
It could have been a signal. It could have not gone for their contact, but it could have just been a signal that, he wasn't pleased.
Raiden, is that you?
In F1 2018, unfortunately, you can't, put the middle finger up, so...
George, just to let you know, I've streamed it all, so we can go watch it again later if you want.
Awesome. Thank you guys for the race. Commiserations and congratulations again to Default, I guess. But hopefully we'll see bigger, better things going into China. And
Wow.
Jordan, put your dummy back in, mate.
I'm sorry. Just gonna say now, if you believe that I'm gonna do a 50% race around China, you can no. I'm not doing that. 50% race around China, I am good, thank you.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, take care. Have a good one.
You too.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Good.
Oh, I moved you. My bad.
I'm dead.
And that's the end of league race number 2. Congratulations.